rib day. Prime rib day, I mean, can't go wrong. Everybody loves a good steak unless you're vegetarian, in which case don't have a prime rib. That would be silly. But I am super glad that it's prime rib day. If you have ever watched Parks and Rec, you might know Ron Swanson. But he loves steak. So anyways, I thought of him because it's prime rib day. All right. Just a reminder, pop that R in the chat if you're done with attendance, if you've already taken it. Today, you'll just need Canvas open. You don't need a paper or pencil or anything. And we will rock it out. All right. Let's jump into our announcements. We're going to do some announcements today and then some test prep. And we'll do our assignment all together today. So it'll be done for you as you go here. Sam, can you see if you can let Ari in here? His like, oh,
it's like the third time.
Yeah. Ari, your Wi-Fi is struggling today, huh? I think so. If you're lagging, I'm sorry that you're lagging. It's all right. We'll make it happen today. Also, Derek's just like joining in the room. Weird. I'll come back. All right. So our announcements for this week. We have done 4 polynomials assignments, right? Shout out to Gracia, shout out to Chelsea, shout out to Lauren and Isaiah and Brandon M for having all 4 of those assignments turned in. You're doing awesome. Thanks for being here. Many of you have 3 of the 4 done or 2 of the 4. So just a reminder to turn those in if you're holding on to them. No big deal. But yeah, great job. Shout out to those people who have all 4 of them turned in. I appreciate you. This week and next week, we're going to do some preparation for what's called the CAASPP test. And then in week 5, we'll take it. And then we just have 3 weeks after that for PT and ACT. That's it. So we're going to make it happen. Hi, Chewy. Glad to have you here. There we go. Derek making it finally in too. The Wi-Fi looked like a struggle there. Derek. So Chewy and Derek, if you can take attendance for me, please. Just a reminder, if you're struggling on any of the assignments here, we do have office hours. They are in the morning from 10:30 to 12 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And Miss Yama is also pulling people in for appointments on Mondays. So just FYI, those do exist. Can be super helpful. I know she finished 2 assignments with 1 student today, and she's always rocking it out. So feel free to do that. Did want to do some shout outs from the last 2 assignments. One from this assignment, I think this was last Tuesday's assignment. Ashley R. and Nayeli like really killed it with their graphs, so wanted to show those off. And then Roxana, she went above and beyond. You just had to put like I worked on Desmos in this box, but she actually put her Desmos, she screenshot her Desmos every single screen and put them in this box. So I didn't even have to go to Desmos to check her work. So that was pretty cool. Big time shout outs here. I did see my favorite no on this assignment here. I loved this idea because this person was using what they knew in order to answer this question. So they had their roots of -1, like remember roots are on the x-axis. They had their root at -1 and their root at 2. And then they were talking about this purple, like right where the purple one is pointing, and they put x equals x. And I was like, wow, what a creative answer. I love that idea. Does anyone know what the like mathematically correct answer would be? What is that point right there? The origin is like what, comma, what? Yeah, 0. Absolutely, Mia. So this would be x equals 0. If it goes through the origin, at x equals 0. Same thing for y-intercept, 0, 0. That's that point right there where that purple line is. But I appreciated that they put x in both places. They were like, I don't know what I'm thinking here. But 0 would have been the correct answer. I love it. Those are awesome. I love creative wrong answers. So sounds good. My last announcement is not a slide, but are y'all coming to the pep rally on Friday? Are you coming? Are you coming? I want to meet you. Yes. Pumped about it. Awesome, Ezra. Awesome, Mia. Everybody else coming? You might come, Gracia. I hope you do. I heard that there are like goodies. I heard that there are like potential prizes you could win. I heard that there might be like t-shirts involved? Question mark. I don't know. I heard lots of cool things that you should be like shall be receiving, and I would love to meet you. So your advisors will be there, and your teachers will all be there all day. So would love to meet you. I hope you come by. It's from 1 to 4 on Friday, and like every advisory has their own time block. But if you can't come during that time block, you can come at any point between 1 and 4. So that'd be cool. All right, cool. Okay, so today we are going to talk a little bit about the CAASPP test. And first, we're going to talk about why. So I'm going to spend like 10 minutes. We're just going to chat through like why, / what it is, / a reminder of what it is. And then we're going to do some practice together. Okay, so today is going to be a little bit less about the math of it, a little bit more about how to use the computer portion. Okay, a little bit less. So we'll have just a little bit of work to do. So let's start with what is the CAASPP? Regarding the CAASPP. Oh, Ezra, I will answer that question in just a second. Thank you for that question. Good reminder for me. So in the state of California, all juniors have to take the CAASPP test in the spring to show your growth in English and in math. So you might remember this logo from the past, right? It's like CA. It kind of looks like a globe where California is like the only thing in the world. I don't know, it's kind of funny. But does anyone remember this logo? If you don't remember this logo, you might remember the song that it plays. It's like, yeah, Ezra remembers. Y'all like remember this. When was the last time that y'all took the test? Like maybe 8th grade, I think. You might remember it from like elementary school, 2 years ago for you, yeah. Middle school, yeah. So you might remember that you took this test in the past and you had that little thing. You're actually going to see it today, and you play, and people are like, no, miss, don't play that. Yeah. Anyway, that's the test that we're taking. There's a few reasons why we would want to take it. I'll explain those in a little bit. When it's going to be is in week 5. So we're in week 3 right now. So we have this week, next week, and it's the week after. It's May 10th through 14th. So it's going to be that whole week 5. You're not going to have your classes. You're going to have tests during that time. And it's pretty cool. You get to take as long as you need to. I know, Mia, it feels like it's so much, right? The good news, the reason why it's so long is because there's no time limit. So like on the ACT, you get only 60 minutes for that test, right? Where this test is like you can take as long as you need to. So we used to actually call it the ACT, I used to call it the ACT redemption test. So if ACT, I don't know if you all have ever felt this way, you're like doing the ACT and you're like, no, and you run out of time, right? This test is not like that. You actually get to take as much time as you need to. But what that means is that the test can get really, really long because you are taking additional time, right? It's not just like the time is going to run out. So that is what is happening. It's going to be on Zoom, so no big deal. We'll give you the links later. You'll have everything you need. There will probably be some technology problems. It will be okay. We will fix them, and then we will move on. Okay. So that is the information about CAASPP, about what it is to start with. Each section, the math section and the English section, ELA, have 2 parts. Okay. So there's a math part 1, English part 1, a math part 2, and an English part 2. The first part is called a computer adaptive test. Actually, I think we're going to do performance test first, but one of the parts is called computer adaptive test. This test basically is a computer test that chooses questions to figure out where you're at. So so they might start you with like an 8th grade question. If you get it right, they might move you up to a 9th grade question. If you get it wrong, they might move you down to a 7th grade question, right? And they're going to kind of like figure out where you're at. So if the questions are getting harder, that's actually a good sign because that means that you are getting more questions correct. Okay. So questions are going like up and down based on how you're doing. Okay. So it's not just like the ACT where like everyone's doing the same problem. Everyone's going to get different problems. And then you are scored. You get more points if you get a hard one right, and you get other points if you get an easier question right. Okay. So it's like goes up and down. This is supposed to take about an hour. It might take a little bit less than that. It might take a little bit more than that based on how fast you're going, right? The other thing that you should know about the computer adaptive test is that if you just like click buttons, it will just keep going and going and going, right? So if you just like randomly click buttons, and like this is a kind of annoying piece of this, if you just like click, like, you know, on the ACTs, you just bubble straight B's, eventually it's over, right? This test is adaptive, so it's trying to figure out where you're at. And so if it can't get a good idea of where you're at, then it's just going to keep going and going and going, right? So you want to actually like try, otherwise the test will never end. That's my advice to you. For the performance task, the second part is it's centered around one common theme or problem. And in math, it's like one long problem, like a problem that has like 8 parts, right? I think someone mentioned earlier today, like a spaceship problem or something. I don't know. But anyways, one long problem. And then for English, it's more of like short answer questions, so like an essay type question, or like where you're writing paragraphs. So that's what the performance task is. It is like 3 hours per subject all together, right? And some people take longer, some people take shorter, but it is like a fairly long exam, okay? So that is how it is set up here. You might be wondering like, well, okay, how is it scored? It's scored, if you remember from middle school, like a 4, a 3, a 2, or a 1, right? That's kind of the same thing here. So standard exceeded, that's like a 4. That means you're doing great. You're ready for college level coursework. If you're a 3, that's standard met. That's like you're ready, you're good to go. You're like proficient. Standard nearly met is like you almost made the bar, but didn't quite make it. So you're not quite ready. And then standard, that's like a 2. And then a 1 is standard not met. That means that you like didn't quite, you're not there. So these different things are used by your colleges to determine where like your first class would be, right? So if you are in one of these green sections, like a 3 or a 4, right? If you're in a 3 or a 4, then that means that you would be placed in like the regular freshman English or regular freshman math. If you aren't in these sections, your college may have a lower level English or math class that they want you to take before you take the college level class. So it's not that you don't go to college. They don't use this for your acceptance. So let's say I go to Cal State Dominguez Hills. I get into Cal State Dominguez Hills, and then Cal State Dominguez Hills uses this information to tell you which class you'll take in college. So let's say that like English 100 is the basic, that's like the freshman level English class, right? If you are not if you're not met or exceeded, like if you get nearly met or not met, they might put you in like English like A or English 50, right? They'll put you in 50 or like English A or something. And that just means like you're not yet ready for English 11 or English 100. And so then you'll take a remedial course before you take the college level course. So it's like a placement test, an entrance test. So like basically everyone has to take entrance tests when they go to college. And if you do well on this test, you don't have to take that entrance test, which could be cool. So you can do well on this test now, you can get out of a test later. Yeah, Mia, there are some classes that, are you asking like what remedial is, or are you like remedial, like, oops? It just means that you might have to take a class before the college thinks that you'll be ready for their regular classes. We have a variety of opportunities. So this test is important, but you don't need to like stress out about it. There are lots of opportunities for you to find success. Okay. All right. So this is the last time that our students, I believe this is the most recent data on the students that took it. Our class of 2021 did not take the test because of last year's quick transition to the pandemic. So this is the blue is a 4 and the red is a 3, right? So more like 70% did well in English and like 50-ish% did well in math. This is from 2 years ago. And so we are hoping to make, the goal is to make this green one where the standard not met, we want that to be as small as possible, right? We want that to be the smallest bucket. We want everybody to be a 2 or 3 or a 4. That's the goal. Cool. So why does it matter? We talked a little bit about college courses. If you do well on it, you might be able to skip a math class or an English class, which is great because in college you pay for classes. Every class costs money, right? So if you fail a class in high school, all right, you just do summer school, right? But if you fail a class in college, you pay to fail it and then you pay to take it again. So you end up paying 2 times for a class that you only get 1 credit for, type of thing. So that can be a really good option if you do well on the test. We want to make sure that we support you. So if you do not that great on the test, we want to make sure that we give you like the support that you need. So we'll do that during 12th grade if you need to. We're going to compare your performance from 8th grade to now. So you've grown a lot. You've had 3 years of growing, right? So we'll compare it. And then finally, hybrid is given a grade by the state. You might have seen Ms. Zero's email today. We just moved up like 30 places in the world, in the US News and World Report. So we're like 127 in all of California number. I don't remember. You can look at Ms. Zero's email. But this is one of the things that we get graded on. So collectively as a school, this is super important for building our legacy as like academic excellence, which is pretty cool. So 3 different ways that's important. Do y'all have any questions? Any questions about this test, what it is, why we're doing it? If not, you can just put no in the chat or no questions. Thanks for your private messages. All right, cool. So in order to get ready, we talked a little bit about why already, and now we are going to jump into some practice. So here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and open up Canvas. I'm going to send you the link here in the chat. Go ahead and open up Canvas. And you are going to see Tuesday and then Thursday, right? If you scroll down on Thursday, you'll see more things on Thursday. They're open, but you don't need to do them right now, right? So today we're going to do numbers 1, 2, and 3. But in order to get started, we're going to go ahead and start by logging in. So we're going to press logging in. And we'll see this. You'll see we have the Zoom and the class recording from earlier this morning. If you want to come back and watch this video, you can click on this one after I upload it after class. It says today's assignment is in parts over the next 3 Canvas pages. Submit 1 screenshot on each page. So on each page, we're going to put 1 screenshot. Note, you are only doing 1 through 3 for Tuesday's homework. We're going to do the rest of them on Thursday. And then it says optional. You can keep track of your screenshots using this document. If you click this document, it will open something that looks like this. If you're someone who really likes to have documents, right, or if screenshots and files are really hard for you based on your computer or whatever situation you're in, there is a document here and you can upload your document instead of just a screenshot. It's probably easier to just use a screenshot, but for some of us, it might be helpful to have this document. This document is optional, right? So this is an optional document. So we are going to screenshot on each page. So we're going to go ahead and go to login directions. You're going to click this link right here. I will put it in the chat. Go ahead and click that link right there. If you're on a Mac, oh no, that's just me. I was gonna say if you're on a MacBook, you might want to put it in incognito, but you won't have to. It's fine. All right. You should see something that looks like this together. Go ahead and press. So I'm going to show you how to log in. If you get lost, all the directions are right here on Canvas. Okay, so if you get lost, all the directions are here. You can ask me, but all the directions are here. So we're going to go ahead and press this green one here, Student Interface Practice. And you should see something that looks like this. So once it says guest user, you know you're in a good place. And then you're going to go ahead and press sign in. And then we are in 11th grade. So we're going to go select grade, go to 11th grade. And you should see pink and yellow things pop up. Pink and yellow things. Oh, Ezra, thank you so much for reminding me. I'm so sorry. You asked that question earlier and then I totally forgot. So we should have picked up our computers yesterday. If you missed, you need your Chromebook for the test. You need your Chromebook. If you can, you can also drop by the school tomorrow, Wednesday, from 8 to 2, if you can. That you can also come tomorrow. If you can't do that, you can also pick it up at the pep rally. So if you're coming to the pep rally, that might be a good reason to come to the pep rally. Right? So you need to pick up your computers though, your Chromebooks, because if you don't do that, then there's like all of these things you have to install, like three different programs on your computer because of the secure browser. So it's actually really, really challenging if you do not pick up your Chromebook. If you pick up your Chromebook, we'll just like boot it right there. But you can pick it up tomorrow from 8 to 2, or you can pick it up at the pep rally. But you do need your Chromebook. Great question, Ezra. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, so on this page here, right, if you could in the chat, put a PY if you can see the pink and yellow. If you can see the pink and yellow page, put a PY in the chat. Awesome. Thanks, Ezra. Thanks, Gracia. Thanks, Mia. Thanks, David. Thanks, Chelsea. All right. So once you can see the pink and Y, or the pink and the yellow, you are going to choose the second yellow one where it says Start High School Math Training Test. You're going to click that one right there. Go ahead and click this one, the second yellow one. And then you can see lots of options. Lots of options. You don't really need to choose any of these. You can, if you want, you can like learn about them by rolling over them and reading what they are. The one that people usually like is the color contrast one. You go to color contrast, you can choose this and then you can like change it to be in another color if you like another color better. You can put it on reverse contrast. I know some of you already have your computers like this. You can do yellow on blue. You can do yellow. You can do light green. I don't know. You can do light magenta, whatever you want. Whatever color you want. I'm just going to leave it black and white like that. Something to note is they're going to put a graphing calculator on there, which is awesome. And you have all these questions. My recommendation is besides the color one, like you don't need to change anything. It's already set to like the best ones. So you don't need to change any settings. They are there if you want, but I would not change any. Go ahead and press select. And then you get that dreaded sound. Here we go. I'll turn on the sound so you can hear it. Here we go. So fun. Let's play it again just for fun. Remember this sound from your nightmares? And then you're gonna press play the sound. There it is. Yeah, someone always hates that sound. You're gonna press I can play and press continue and then begin test now. So basically you're just pressing that green button a bunch of times until you get to this. Yeah, David, this is a practice. We're not even trying to really get the math right now. We're just trying to learn how to use the system. So you should see something that looks like this. Which test is that? This, you're gonna press the second yellow one. So the one that looks like this. High school math training test. So not the pink practice one, the yellow training one. The yellow training one. All right, so you should see number one. When you can see number one, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. When you can see number one, put a 1 in the chat. Nice. Thanks, Agra. Thanks, Mia. Chelsea, are you there? Looks like you made it to page 1. Grisha, I think you made it to page 1. Nice. Okay, cool. David, did you make it to page 1? You're gonna save, yeah, you can save every time you finish a problem. Okay, cool. So here's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna click back and forth between Canvas and the test. So I'm gonna go back to Canvas. Okay, we are officially logged in, so I'm gonna press the next button. And we're gonna submit, remember, 1 screenshot per page. 1 screenshot per page. So on number 1, you should see something that looks like this. I'll go ahead and go to student view. Student view. You should see something that looks like this. You're going to see the question, and then we're going to follow the directions as the page says. So it says, question 1 says, click on the hamburger button next to the number 1. You should see this drop down. So I'm going to go to the test. I'm going to find the hamburger button over here. I'm going to click on it, and I see the drop down right here. Then on Canvas, it says, click strike through. Cross out the answers you think are incorrect. Select the correct answer, screenshot, and submit here. And then it says, hint, your screenshot should look like this. Okay. So I'm looking at the test. I'm going to click strike through. And then notice it kind of grays them out. And I'm like, okay, this right here is not equal to addition. It's not equal to these ones here, not addition. It's not equal to these trinomials. And I'm thinking, okay, between these two, if I have 2 of these, m minus 5 and m minus 5, it's going to make positive 25, not negative 25. So I'm like, okay, that one's out. Notice if I just try to click on this one, it's going to cross it out. So I have to click it again. So I need to click over here to get out of the strikeout. And now I can select C. I can select C. So now I'm going to go ahead and take a screenshot. Took a screenshot of this page. If you're like Mia and you want to save your question, you can press the save button. I'm going to go back to Canvas and I'm going to submit my file. So I'm going to go to upload file. I'm going to find my screenshot. Somewhere in here, wherever my screenshot is. I have too many screenshots. I'm going to open it. I'm going to submit my file. And then I'll press submit. So then I am done with number 1. I can see that I submitted here. If I scroll down, I can see that for the rubric, if I show that I could cross things out, I get 2 points. If I selected an answer, if I select any answer, I get 3 points. If I select the correct answer, I get 1 point of extra credit. right? So on this one, everybody should get extra credit because the correct answer is already shown for you. Right? So it's out of 5 points, right? It's out of 5, but I can get up to 6 points. Then I'm going to go ahead and press next. And it'll show me number 2, right? So then on my testing window, I'm going to go ahead and press next. And it will take me to number 2 here. Take me to number 2. A couple of things that you should know. Up here in the top, there's a calculator. Check it out. Go ahead and click it on your screen. And Desmos should pop up. Yay, Desmos. Because we've been using Desmos all year. You have a real advantage, right? Using Desmos all year. So then you can like move it around. You can type it in to see that parabola. You can type in all kinds of stuff, b to the 7th, something like that. Whatever you want to type in, you can. A regular calculator. If you want to do like 4/5, it will divide for you. Calculator's cool. Then you can click this to make it go away. When you click it back, it will come back. Right, so you have that option. So it says write an expression equivalent to b to the 11th over b to the 4th in the form of b to the power of something. So we want to put our answer here. This is like an IXL question, right? This is an IXL question. They want you to just put the answer, right? Just put the answer. So this one says you're going to try typing this, you're going to try to type this, you're going to try typing something like this, try writing something that seems really hard. And then after you're done practicing with using the keys, you're going to type in your answer. You're going to screenshot the correct answer and submit it here. If you don't know how to use the exponent, you're going to use this button right here or Shift 6. But you're going to go ahead, I'm going to put B, and then you're going to press this button right here. And that will take you to the exponent level. Francis, if your questions are different, it's because you clicked the practice test rather than the training test. Remember when we were on the pink and yellow screen? Pink and yellow. So you can go ahead and just exit out of your test section, exit out of your test and go back. You do have the training test. Your questions are different. It's just some are missing. Let me see. Oh, you're on your other computer. Like the numbers are missing. Can you try pressing the zoom in or zoom out button? Or try making your screen like wider or skinnier? Can you see, like, is this question the same, just the keyboard looks different? Do you have your phone nearby you, Ezra? Can you take a picture of it and send it to me? Text it to me? Take a picture and let me know. Show it, like send it off to me. All right. So for this one, what could we say if we have b to the power of 11 over b to the power of 4? What would my correct answer be here? I have division. What am I supposed to do here? Yeah, Gracia, b to the power of 7. Perfect. Remember that when we have division with exponents, we are actually subtracting. So Gracia did 11 minus 4 to get b to the power of 7. Awesome. So this is all they want, just like IXL, they just want the answer. They don't want you to show your work or anything. So you're going to go ahead and take a screenshot. And then you're going to go ahead and go back to Canvas and you're going to submit on Canvas. Press start assignment, submit on Canvas. Ezra, I don't know what that, yeah, I see your problem. There's no problem on your page, huh? So, well, I guess this is why we're going to get you your Chromebook. so that you have your regular ones. Try refreshing, Ezra. Try refreshing and see if it'll let, or maybe like go back to number 1 and come back to number 2 or something. I don't know what's up with your computer. Ezra, are you on Safari? What are you on? Just want to see your little icon. Okay, I'm sorry, Ez. Just try it with us and you can see it on my screen. Or I guess the questions are all on each of the pages on Canvas. So you should be able to like just go to Canvas and see what the question is supposed to look like. Okay. All right, team. So the last one is number 3. So as question 3 says, and then there's going to be a picture here when it loads. Questions like this can be any combination of true and false. They could all be true, all false, or a mixture. Consider each question individually, then select one answer for each row. All right, so on number 3, you're going to go ahead and go to number 3. You press save anytime you want. And then you're going to read this question and you're going to select true or false for each statement. So you can select whichever ones you think are true or false. Notice it'll let you choose both. You don't want to choose both. So make sure you just choose one for each row. And then you're going to screenshot whichever ones you think are correct. And then you're going to turn it in on Canvas. Okay, so take a moment to think about number 3. And then that is your last one for today. That is your last one for today. We're just doing those 3 parts. And when you're finished, you can go ahead and just click out. You can just like exit out of that tab for the test because you're all done. And we'll come back to it on Thursday. Come back to it on Thursday. Do y'all have any questions for me? Any questions? Awesome. Okay, team. Let me go ahead and look at our, let's refresh our gradebook here. So that is it for your assignment for today. You don't have to do anything else as long as you've done number 1, number 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. That's it for today. All right. Does anybody have any questions for me? Yeah, once you're done with 1, 2, and 3, you can exit the tab. Yeah, you're good to go. Right. Once you've done 1, 2, and 3, you're all done for today. Math test over, or math done. It wasn't so bad. And I will see you on Thursday. Bye, friends.